My name's Owen Godberson. I'm going to be your Bundesliga correspondent here on the World Football News Network. And a little bit about myself. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm going to the University of Nebraska at Omaha in the fall for sports broadcasting. Hopefully one day you'll see me on Fox Sports, ESPN, or if this channel kicks off the way we hope it does, maybe you'll be a famous YouTuber someday. Who knows? Today I'm going to be welcoming you into the Bundesliga, giving you guys a little bit of a background on the Bundesliga, not a whole lot though, and then we're going to dive right in to some profiles on the new two teams in the Bundesliga from promotion from the second Bundesliga up to the top tier. We've got the champions of the second Bundesliga, SC Freiburg, and we've got Red Bull Leipzig. So without further ado, here we go. First up, we have SC Freiburg, founded in 1904. They originally had a couple of teams in Freiburg, but after the devastation of World War I, they couldn't really afford. They couldn't afford to keep the multiple teams together. They didn't have enough players after all the devastation was caused through injury, through PTSD, through obviously the death in the armies. So they ended up combining into what would now be known as SC Freiburg. This is going to be their 17th time in the Bundesliga. They were relegated at the end of the 2014-15 season after being in the Bundesliga for 6 years prior to that straight. They got relegated and then they immediately bounced back up in the 15-16 season, winning the Bundesliga 2 with 75 goals and only 39 goals against them, and which is an amazing tally, obviously. 75 goals in around 30 games. That's not bad at all. And led by their leading goal scorer, Niels Peterson, I feel like in the Bundesliga they could create a little bit of magic. Like the small teams like Leicester or Bournemouth or Watford when they came up in the Premier League. They gave us inspiring moments in the Premier League. I feel like Freiburg can do that to us this year again, only this time in the German league. They have great players. A little bit about SC Freiburg, a fun fact. Joachim Low, the current German national team manager, is their all-time leading goal scorer. Fun fact about that. And then Zach Steffen, the U23 goalkeeper for the U.S. He had a great tournament in the U23 World Cup. I believe it was last summer, where they made the semifinals against Serbia, if I'm remembering right. And he played amazing that game, and he had a great shootout performance. Unfortunately, they lost because the USA players around him who were taking the penalty kicks couldn't deliver, but I see a bright future for Steffen, for both club and for country. I feel like Freiburg, they're going to be able to contest with the mid-card teams, the lower-tier teams who are always diving off relegation. Hell, they might even get a shock result at home against, say, Wolfsburg or Bayer Leverkusen, where you'd expect the bigger teams, the teams who have been in the Champions League before, the teams who have potentially won the league before. I feel like Freiburg, when they host them, they get all of their fans behind them, they get all the home support. I feel like they could pull off a result. And speaking of the Freiburg fans, my word, absolutely amazing fan support they have, away from home and at home. I was watching the Dortmund game against Freiburg a couple years ago when they were in the Bundesliga when I was first getting into soccer. And I saw the Freiburg fans on the commentary. They kept panning back to the Freiburg away support, and they were going toe-to-toe with the Süd Tribune and the Westfalenstadion, which is 25,000 people deep. They were going toe-to-toe, minute for minute, throughout all the game. It was absolutely incredible to see, and the away support was absolutely inspiring. And if Freiburg didn't play bad that game, that's the thing. I feel like the fans can really make a club succeed or not succeed in a league. And based on the Freiburg support that they have, based on the performance they had last season in the second Bundesliga, with their goals scored, they're going to have a little bit of trouble holding back some of the high-powered offenses such as Dortmund or Bayern, but that's to be expected of a team that just came up against teams who are playing the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea. They're playing against Serie A teams, La Liga teams, Ligue 1 teams. They're not going to be able to compete, obviously, blow to blow, but they're going to put up a great fight, and I feel like Freiburg can finish 12th or 13th. Not a bad result by any means for a team that recently came up, but one they can hold their heads up about, but at the same time, they're going to know they can do better and they can push themselves the next season. Now we go on to Red Bull Leipzig, who, unlike Freiburg, don't have that much of a history. This is their first time in the Bundesliga. They were created in 2009. In 2009, Freiburg was, I think, either promoted or still in the Bundesliga. And that was when Red Bull Leipzig were being founded. They went from the bottom tier, the 5th division in the Bundesliga, They kept clawing their way up to the top. Year in, year out, they just keep building. They keep buying players, obviously, but they keep just winning and getting promoted, and now they're going to be in the top flight. They finished second in the second Bundesliga last year. That's a good result. Against teams like Paderborn, who you've seen in the Bundesliga before, who have contested with teams. Against teams like Dusseldorf and Freiburg and all those other teams, they didn't play all that bad. It's just, you see Freiburg with like 75 goals. I think Red Bull only finished with like 30 or 40 goals. I might be wrong about that, but at the same time, that's not a great goal tally, guys. Especially when you're going up against great defenses like they have in the Bundesliga. Apart from the Serie A, the Bundesliga is one of the most defensive leagues in the world. You gotta be able to take chances when you create them, because they're not gonna come all that often. Chances in the Bundesliga are usually few and far between. That being said, at the beginning of this season, to get into the Bundesliga itself, Red Bull pumped so much money into their club. I don't think they're going to be able to replicate that. I don't think the players they bought to get into the Bundesliga are going to be able to keep them up, and I don't think they're going to be able to bring in the players that can help keep them up in the Bundesliga. I just don't think they can. Also, I haven't seen much from the Red Bull Leipzig fans. Hopefully I get to see a little bit more of their support this season when I watch the games. Who knows? But at the same time, I kind of get the hatred that other fans have for Red Bull Leipzig. It's one of the many things in sports where, like, you don't like the new kid on the block. You don't like expansion franchises when they first come in. You can compare them to the likes of NYCFC, bought by a bigger company, and they kept just buying players and bringing them up and bringing them up. NYCFC are now top of the MLS. Red Bull Leipzig are coming up into the Bundesliga. It feels like too much corporation in the game. I respect the view of the fans on that, but at the same time, if Red Bull Leipzig fans, if they come out with amazing support and they support their team through thick and thin like I expect they will, I've got no problem with them. Welcome to the Bundesliga, and then also goodbye to the Bundesliga. I predict Red Bull Leipzig will finish rock bottom of the league, unfortunately. I don't think they can protect their back line and their goal enough. I don't think they can create enough chances. I can't even see them winning a game against anybody in the top six. They might be able to pull off a shock draw against like Werder Bremen or somebody who's like mid-card, not great, but not bad. I just can't see them doing much this season, unfortunately. I predict Red Bull Leipzig to finish rock bottom of the table and just go immediately back down to the second Bundesliga, lick their wounds, and come back in the next 3 to 4 years. Now, obviously, these are just my personal opinions. If you want to attack them or you want to debate them, go down in the comments section. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like, hit subscribe, follow us on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at Owen Godberson 17. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Hit me up on Twitter for all of those if you want. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll get to see you guys around the internet more, and you keep it classy.